What are your absolutely weirdest runs in the family traits or characteristics? A lot of the women in my family have 3 or 4 kidneys. You guys could make a fortune on the black market. Where do you think they got them? Edit, thanks for the silver, stranger. I am off to the market. Disclaimer: this isn't meant to be creepy in any way. But you guys must have clean insides. Almost everybody, men and women, on my mom's side are super tall and built like aircraft carriers, including like 3 or 4 with marfads, and all the women and a few of the men have this weird foot deformity where their feet are super bony and their big toe is crossed over the index toe all the time, and their ankles are also fucked up and all required surgery. Only 4 people didn't get the freakish height genes: my grandma, my mom, one cousin and me, and I was the only one of my generation to avoid the foot thing. I pull up at a family function driving a lowered Honda Civic, parking in a sea of F-250 crew cabs PC. It's the only car these giants can fit in, then go inside with my 5'8" ass sitting next to my 7'2" cousin, my 6'5" aunt and 80-year-old granddad who's 6'8". Lol, I love this image. Do you get the random small jobs like getting into crawl spaces and getting things from the back of the bottom shelf? Our teeth develop slowly. I, 28 have 3 baby teeth left. My mother had only lost 1 baby tooth at age 14 and lost her last one aged 35. One of my uncles died in his 60s with a baby tooth left. And completely opposite to that, as a kid I knew a family who all had 2 sets of baby teeth. It never occurred to me back then to ask for details, but I wonder now what the timeline was for losing them. My childhood friend had hyperdontia. They had to operate and remove the superfluous set of teeth sometime around age 7. Have you seen child skulls with this condition? Creepy AF. Child skulls with a typical set of teeth are creepy too. My grandmother, mother, my siblings, and I all have the exact same mole on the back of our necks. Same spot, same size, same color. I haven't inspected my maternal aunts next to see if they have it too, but I'm starting to think I should. The Dollar Tree version of the Joestar family mark. I hate this being accurate. Wait till someone steals Op's grandfather's body. Everyone on my dad's side of the family becomes allergic to onions and garlic around age 40. I have 10 years left and then I need to do some serious research into alternative seasoning. Hing/asulfate powder. It cures the onion/garlic itch. Learn this in India. That's a damn fine idea. Hing provides the flavor while not being from the same botanical family. It's also very good for the gastronomy. Third nipple. My husband's brother has one and 2 of my kids have it as well. One of my kids thinks it's like a cool party trick and would show everyone on the playground. He was disappointed to find out that other kids didn't think it was as cool as he did. I have 4 nipples. It's a fun random thing to use for 2 truths and a lie, but doesn't really affect me. They're just like the rest of my moles. I do check them when I do breast self-exams though, because extra nipples can sometimes have breast tissue beneath them. I've heard of 3, I didn't even know more was a thing. Wait till you hear about cows. Before we vomit our left hand goes numb, no idea why. I like this one. So weird. I think it's a blood pressure thing. Both of my hands go numb when I'm going to puke, and I have notoriously low blood pressure. One of my arms also tends to go numb if I'm really overtired, like if I've been up for more than one night in a row. My feet do this if I'm very tired. I also have lower blood pressure. Never thought it could be related. I have one slightly pointed ear, my grandfather had it too, and apparently his grandfather. So we have an elf ear that runs in the family that skips a generation. Also none of my siblings or cousins have it, so it hits one person every other generation. Weird. I believe that technically makes you half elves. Have you heard of the half elves? #Waya. Elves. Finger toes, very long toes, and crooked, turned inward pinky toes. My family likes to call them fingers, short for toe fingers. Me too. My big toes are huge too. If I take the rest of my toes and curl them under, then put your feet together, they look like two frog eyes. It freaks me out, man. Lol. My ring toe turns in. I don't know what else to call that toe. Lol. Heterochromia. I have it, my mom has it, her dad had it, and his dad had it. Is it all the same colors and in the same eyes? Does everyone have a left blue eye and a right green eye? Some people have splits within single eyeballs. Like half the pupil is green, half is blue. The pupil is the black hole, I think the colored part is the iris. We have one beard growing competitions. I can't wear a super long one, but we hit ZZ Top level. Random fact. The only member of ZZ Top who doesn't have a beard is called Frank Beard. So he does have a beard? No, he has a Frank. Multiple people in my family have Meniere's disease, which, among other things, makes it so consuming caffeine makes us go deaf. What? How? Why? Does it go away? How long does it last? Basically our inner ear sucks at fluid balance, and caffeine messes with it further, exacerbating the problem and making us go deaf and dizzy. Hearing and balance fluctuate day to day, but with management it's not too bad. That sounds a little tiring but manageable, just with shitty experiences because people forget what contains caffeine. All the women in my family look alike, not just familial resemblance, but my sister is 6 years older than me and we get confused for twins. I've been walking through a mall at another part of our city and a random old lady approached me and asked if I was grandmother's name's daughter. The genetics are freakishly, in my opinion, strong. My grandmother's siblings are the same, grandfather too. Also all the women on my maternal side ended up with diabetes, which weirded out doctors when my sibs and I ended up diagnosed pretty much one after the other. Me, my mom, and my grandmother are like this. Friends of mine have seen pictures of my mother at around my age and mistook it for me. I made a 3-photo display of photos of each of us at similar ages at some point. Didn't so much get a wow, strong family resemblance reaction as a repeatedly explaining the photos were of 3 different people. It's mostly pretty cool but sometimes a little weird. Like looking through old pictures and seeing your own face. It's strange. But good strange. Still strange. Not me, but my wife, she has double canine teeth, which I've heard is extremely rare. She also had a rib removed back in 1997, and every x-ray she's had since then has shown that rib actually growing back in, end-to-end growing toward each other. So she's a werewolf. The rib part freaked me out, end-to-end growing towards the other. Very cool. But will the bones grow together or eventually collide and need to be shaved down every couple years to prevent great pain from them rubbing together? They grow together, since it's happening because the perichondrium that covered it was left. I inherited 2 things from my mom's side of the family. I have a small web on my right 2nd to 3rd toe on my foot. And apparently having an oversized colon and having huge poops is also a family trait. Like so big sometimes they're bigger than a hole on the toilet and you have to break it down with boiling water and laundry detergent to lube it down the hole. Went browsing the toilet section at Home Depot once. There's a large amount of toilets that advertise being able to flush an entire bucket of golf balls. Maybe something like that might work for your family, That's American standard. On a site I go to, a guy asked what toilet he should buy to replace one of his. Every guy in there wrote Toto. It was like the Tom Cruise thread on Reddit. I can't smell, like at all. Some other family members have a very limited sense smell, almost nothing, but for me it's literally just nothing. DNA is weird like that. My husband has almost 0 sense of smell. Have you had COVID? I ask because when he had COVID he actually gained his sense of smell. Weirdest thing. Oh, that really weird. I haven't had COVID but I wonder how that works. Same thing with me. As far as I know none of my family members have it. In case you didn't know, it's called congenital anosmia. Kinda sucks, but if you have to lose a sense, at least there are far worse. We all sleepwalk and sleep talk. Mom and dad both did it. My siblings and children do it. Best one is my mom. She's a saint during the day, but 10 minutes after she dozes off she starts screaming and cursing like a trucker. It's funny because if she goes somewhere we have to explain in advance what will happen. She's harmless for the most part. She has tossed and broken a few remote controls that she left on the bed next to her though. Me, I'm a sleepwalker / talker and eater. I check the locks, the gas on the stove, then raid the fridge and eat anything that I can get my hands on. Perhaps sleeping traits being hereditary isn't unusual. At least your family doesn't have fatal insomnia. Fatal familial insomnia is some of the scariest shit. Starts of mild, eventually you're awake for so long you die.